Hey, buddy.
Kelly Wilson, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Ooh.
And get my spooky cookie. We actually did have a sincere Ash and I frightened today.
Oh, yeah?
Ash is subscribed to whatever the Postal Service is. Hey, you've got this thing coming?
Oh, yeah, I got
Service.
that too.
She was like, got some letters from the IRS. Ooh, exactly. And I'm like, ooh, cool, that's fun. We've had a run-in with the IRS in the past. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But we were wrong. And I was like, does that mean that the letter is coming or that the letter's already in the mailbox? She's like, go check the mail. All right, check it out. And I get it, and I open it, and it was, you owe, and not a crazy amount, but a lot. And I was like, shit. And I take it to Ash, and she's like, oh no, we already paid that. And it was we had somebody do our taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and they got the education credits because of my schooling wrong and for 2021. And they already caught it and were like, hey, I did this thing wrong. You can do nothing and just wait for the IRS to catch it. Or you can tell them, hey, we know we did something wrong and pay. And there's some sort of advantage doing that because they will charge you like interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did that. So we had already paid what we knew the difference would be. And this was we were off by a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's okay. But it was a genuine like, whoa.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You get any frights today or recently?
No. My life is a bit spookless right now.
Mm.
At least, I mean, there's the grand spookiness of just life. It's always scaring me.
Yeah.
But no individual little things have happened.
We've experienced some Halloween joy today already.
Did we?
McAfee
Oh, yeah. So good.
knocks it out the park every year.
And I just love that it's on ESPN now.
Yeah.
When AJ came on,
Yeah.
I likely shat myself.
I watched the first little bit, and I took the screenshots, or I didn't show them you guys, some Ash, but I took a screenshot of them like panning into the stage with that one decoration going off, and then the next shot, which is like just the zoom in of McAfee, sent those to Ash, and came downstairs for lunch so I could work on the recap, and I don't know, I get distracted when Ash is around. So I just put it on YouTube, and we watched it together, and I died laughing, like when I watched it alone, and died a second time, like watching her die laughing. So that was great.
So good. It's hilarious. I was watching it, and he was like, this has to be the most this one's for us show ever. Because throughout the years, he's always discussed some shows they're just doing something completely ridiculous that he's just like, yeah, this is just for us. This is not for the viewers. This is we're just having fun for us.
I love that.
This is one of those days. Very cool.
I like seeing everybody's family stuff on Facebook. I guess a lot of people partied over the weekend because I saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
But today's the wholesome send your kids to school in their costumes and couples doing their thing. I saw my Aunt Susan and Uncle Albert were like dressed in toga and changed their profile. I think Susan changed her profile photo, and I was like, it's cool. Are you dressing up tonight to hand out candy to kids?
No, I don't hand out candy. We put candy in a bowl on a stool on the front step. And we don't fill it with too much because we don't want any little bastard stealing all our candy at once. But
yeah.
Put out a few handfuls at a time, and we got the Ring camera, so we'll be looking at all the kids in the costumes through the camera. And this is, I think, going to be the first year that I displayed my carved pumpkin out by the candy. Don't think I've done that before. I mean, I've definitely carved some not kid-friendly pumpkins before in the past.
Pregnancy test?
And
okay.
that other one.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm so proud of my pumpkin carving this year.
It was good.
Like,
I'm gonna put the photos up
I
with this.
I feel so good about it. Like, I don't have enough people in my life to share it with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the only thing, the first thing I've ever posted on Instagram, and I've had an Instagram for like years.
Ash pointed that out. Yeah.
Like years, and I've never posted. I've only had it because some people wanted to message me through that.
Funny.
But I was like, the world needs to see this pumpkin. I'm just so proud of it. So
I think I got on Instagram probably for content Ash was sending me, but Ash is the only person I follow.
yeah,
And I don't follow anybody else. And, like, multiple people follow me, like, in the family and such. It's like, I have not posted anything ever.
what's hilarious to me is like, I follow some people like, mostly, I don't know, like, I guess famous people, but like not the real famous people, just like people, quasi-famous people that I like.
Famous to you.
Yeah. And I guess I follow some, like, people close to me. But, like, I usually never interact with anything or do anything on Instagram, but I was just like, I didn't want to put it on Facebook because I don't want certain people to try to start engaging with me.
Oh my goodness.
Because I don't ever do anything on there either, so if someone sees me doing something like, oh, he's active, I'm going to try to contact him. And
I see.
there's definitely parts of people on my Facebook that I really don't want reaching out to me right now. But none of those people are on Instagram. But the whole thing I was trying to get to about me following people on Instagram, I have more followers than people I follow, and I just did my first post I've ever done, like, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, why are people following me? I don't understand. I don't post anything.
Yeah, same.
And it's weird. Like, and it's just like random people. Like, I don't know some of these people.
Probably gonna set your thing to private.
No, they can follow me if they want. I don't care. I like have like more followers than people I follow.
It's the same as your Facebook, though. Like, people can just Google you and find you.
I mean, if people want to find me, go for it. That's why I keep any social media presence at all. Is if someone's looking for me, there's a way to find me. But yeah, so that's interesting. But yeah, I really, really like my pumpkin.
I love that. That's probably, the height of our traditions and things that we do together.
I mean, it's definitely the one that we've done the most consistently or the most over all the years. Besides just like celebrating each other's birthdays, but that's everybody. Everybody does that.
We watched Doctor Sleep, which I thought was a very worthy sequel. I like that there were things.
Sequel to The Shining for anyone who doesn't know, because I didn't know and then I knew and forgot. So.
Did you forget when we turned the movie on?
No, I knew.
Okay.
I had remembered probably the third or fourth time.
Well, we all read that book, and there's always stuff that stands out that hey, that wasn't in the movie, or that didn't make it to the movie, or that's really different in the book. I think Jurassic Park is a really good example of that. And similarly, when they finally made a sequel, they tried to address some of the, if not like literal scenes in the book, then at least some of the like kind of message. And in Doctor Sleep, they got a lot of that. They were like, oh, this was literally in the book that didn't make it to the movie. And this, so I like that.
It was much better than I thought it would be. Although I didn't pay as much attention to it as I should have, because I was too busy making the best carved pumpkin I've ever made in my entire life.
Superior.
And I hurt my finger doing it.
Oh dear.
We're on the mend.
Did you plunge that giant needle-looking thing into your...
No, that's what I was sure was going to happen. Like, I was already settled on, like, that's going to happen. Let's just hope it's not too deep to where I have to go somewhere to get it taken care of. But no, this just wore it down. Because just the way I was holding the tool, it was just, like, wore a hole in my skin. Blistered up pretty good, and then it popped, and then, like, if I held it a certain way, it looked like there was a definite, like, chunk taken out of my finger.
You get a blister from that?
I mean, how could you... I mean, yes, I got a blister from that. I worked really hard for it.
That's awesome.
I mean, I definitely did not have the right tool for the job, but I made a tool work.
That is so much friction.
Yeah. I mean, that was a lot of carving.
Ashley's pumpkin. I mean, do you want to say what your pumpkin was?
Yeah, I don't care.
I think you have yet.
No. I mean, it's a puppy. It's the face of a puppy.
Mm-hmm. A specific type of puppy?
I mean, I was shooting for Havanese,
mm-hmm.
but I think it could be interpreted as other breeds, but I think it's pretty close to what... I mean, it's not like a perfect, like, lifelike rendition of one, but it's as detailed as I can get with my skill.
It's quite detailed. I did assume it was St. Bernard, though.
See, that's the thing. It can be like... I kind of saw St. Bernard in it, too. I also saw a little bit of, like, a really young Rottweiler in it, but I don't know. It's cute. The number of times I booped that snoot as I walked by it.
Boop that snoot?
Yep. And earlier today, whenever I saw Jer for the first time, we were downstairs, and I was like, "Happy Halloween, Jer," and he was like, "Woo." And then I said, "Happy Halloween, Pumpkin," because they call it Pupkin, not
nice.
Pumpkin. It's a puppy. And Jeremy's like, "What?" I was like, "No, I was talking to my pumpkin." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Silly. What was Jer's again?
Basketball.
Oh, yes.
I made the entire thing of basketball.
Yeah. He brought that little basketball and put it on the table, and we're like, "Where's this going?"
I knew where it was going because I'd asked him earlier in the day what he was going to do. And he asked me, but I never told him. But I wasn't actually sure if I was going to do it until I was actually doing it, because I was like, this is going to be really hard to do. Hold on. Even when I was in here, like, I traced the original outline off of the monitor of my computer. And I was like, this is too much. This is taking too long. There's no way I'm going to do this. But I was like, just finish it and get it downstairs and put it on the pumpkin and see. And then I got downstairs and did that. I'm like, I'm going to go with my plan B. This is too much. And then I was like,
You said that you never go all out.
Well, I usually, I've probably gone what I would call all out maybe 3 times now, maybe 4 out of the 10 plus years we've done this. But it is like, I'll go all out and then I might go a couple years just kind of phoning it in, doing something real simple. And I feel like the last couple of years I've been saying that I was going to do something a little bit harder. And this year I was like, why not? I got nothing else to do. We got a long-ass movie to watch. And I finished mine before you finished yours.
Fuck yeah.
So, that was pretty impressive.
Mine, at least the last few years, they're not like crazy concepts or anything, but they take a while to do.
And you also have the habit of getting the largest pumpkin they have for sale, so you have the most work to do.
They're definitely larger.
I doubt it. You always get extremely large pumpkins.
I need a lot of room. It was a big smile on there. Yeah, mine's just like a bunch of teeth, basically. But Ashley's, she did the symbol from this show called Yellow Jackets, which was a fun, disturbing little tale. And that's also her costume for Halloween. And got a lot of pictures of her yesterday that, I don't know, did you see them on Instagram or anything yet? Okay.
Have they been on Instagram?
I think she has them on Instagram. You might want to check.
Sometimes I don't get notifications because I actually have 2 different Instagram accounts.
Okay.
And I might have been set on the other one, so the notifications for the other might not have been coming through.
You got 2 phones, 2 Facebooks, 2 Instagrams, 2...
I only have 1 phone.
Is there another family, Kelly?
I do have a Google phone number, though. I do have 2 Facebooks. I do have 2 Instagram. I mean, the second Instagram, that one started because whenever I was doing that radio show that I was doing, I made socials for that, that my DJ personality or whatever, and one of them I use sometimes to talk to a specific couple people. But then the other one's just my normie one. So yeah, I don't know. I'm out there.
Presumably nothing cartel, drugs, terrorism related?
No, nothing that could get me in any kind of trouble.
Alright, spin that out there, guys. Quit asking.
Who's asking? Nobody's asking.
This show is watched by millions, Kelly.
I am clean cut American white guy.
Had a lot of fun taking those pictures for Ash, though,
Yeah.
and she sent me a screenshot that led me to believe she put it on Instagram. Maybe she hasn't, but those will definitely come out. I'm gonna be a pirate,
Ooh.
hook hand and a silly hat and a vest cape thing, which is like Ren Fair, mostly.
I was gonna say, I think the last Ren Fair picture I saw you two, you kind of looked piratey. Maybe not full on, but like you were pirate adjacent.
Yeah.
So I guess this is just a little bit. Just had to go a little bit further to get.
I'm kind
the
of
full color.
musketeer-y, which is not that
That's just like a land pirate.
basic. Yeah. With like French connotations. Yeah.
Land pirates.
We got a lot of candy to hand out, and I think that'll be that for Halloween. I'm sad to see the end of Halloween media. I think Goosebumps is going through November. That's been kind of fun to watch. Have you
Yeah.
been watching that with Jerry?
Yeah, we've seen them all except the most recent one, which came out I think Sunday, Saturday or Sunday. But we decided to save it to watch tonight.
That's a nice setting. I like the presumably Pacific Northwest or whatever.
Yeah.
We finished Fall of the House of Usher, which I cannot recommend enough. I can't recommend it like carte blanche, because episode 1 is a lot of sex tits, sex tits. But basically after that, it's great for everybody. It's a little, I mean, there's some gore, but just a really well put together show if you like or appreciate or have any like passing knowledge of Edgar Allan Poe and his works. Fall of the House of Usher is like a short story, but the show, which I think is 8, 9, 10 episodes, something like that, incorporates different bits and pieces of all the Edgar Allan Poe universe of stories, which was a delight. But then this is, I don't know how much of this I'm repeating from last time, but Netflix and their Halloween programming, A1, top tier, very well done. And last year they had a show called Haunting of Bly Manor, which is like one of my favorite pieces of art ever. It was like a really well told story and really well executed and perfect in like a lot of ways. Like if I had to break down all the categories of like what I care about when watching a show, it would be like 9.9 or 10 out of 10, like across the board. And this one, very close to that as well. I don't want to spoil it at all because it just came out this year, and I want everybody to see it and watch it. That again, maybe not for the children, but the adults listening should definitely all check it out because you'll probably love it. Yeah.
Very cool. Jerry and I have also been watching this other show on Netflix. It's called, I don't know exactly what it's called. Someone's, like, not like somebody's name, I don't know, but someone's Cabinet of Curiosities or something like that.
What is it, Del Toro?
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro is like EP or something, and he does like the intros to each episode, I think. But it's like each episode is like a 50-minute, hour-long, just like one-off story. Like there's no continuous story throughout them. They're all different, just one-off, like mini movies basically. Pretty spooky, pretty good. Like maybe not. I'm not as hyped for it as you are for that other show, but still, it's been pretty like. I really enjoy those kind of shows just because like sometimes I like shows that I don't have to get like invested in over time, like just having a one-off like mini movie. Because I don't like watching a lot of movies because I just think they're too long. But give me something 50 minutes to an hour that's a full story. Chef's kiss.
Have you watched any of the Love, Death, and Robots?
Yeah. Those are hit or miss for me.
Yeah. Ash and I have been really into short stories lately. And like you were saying, not having to pay attention for a long period of time. Some of them are like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, and some of them I think are too short. Like,
Yeah.
a 10-minute story is a short story. But, yeah, that show's pretty cool. And also, something I think I brought it up with everyone in the group. A movie that I wanted to see this Halloween season that never could fit it into like any kind of group, or at least even me and Jer's situation to watch. So I ended up having to watch it myself. But I've seen it before, but I always forget whenever I see it just like how good of a like spooky movie it is to me. And I mean that's like it's
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah,
99 with Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci. Casper Van Dien again showing up in another movie, and it even had I forgot about this. It had the mean uncle from Harry Potter. He was in it. Bunch of people were actually in it. And it's I did some reading about it after I watched it, and because it just the ambiance, just how everything looks in the movie, it's just like. They nailed the spooky, like, late 1700s, like, upper New York vibe to a T. Turns out it won an Academy Award for, like, art direction.
Cool.
So, I mean, that's just great. And I always forget how good of a movie that is. The acting all around, I think, is really solid. The visuals are great. I mean... Just the fact, like, you see multiple heads get, like, completely cut off. Just, like, they don't cut. It's not like they allude to it. No, you see the heads come off multiple times. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, breaking those things down, like, the storytelling can be one thing. The acting can be one thing. I really hone in on style. And, like, what is the... Like, if you had two people... like a Picasso and Rembrandt and like Jackson Pollock, and you're like, paint me the saddest man in the universe. Like each of them would do that totally differently.
Right.
And I like how film is like that often too. And it's hard to do that because most of the time a cartoon is a cartoon. You have a lot more liberty there. But when you're doing like live action, we all exist in live action.
Yeah.
So you don't always have the same liberty. But then you have guys like, I want to say Scott Adams. That's not it. Frank Miller, the guy that did 300, where it's live action, but it's highly stylized. And you can get like those stylistic choices.
Was that one guy that's really big on that one? Like he's all Wes Anderson.
Yeah. That's a good example.
Very stylized, like
Yes.
you're watching a Wes Anderson movie.
Exactly.
Tarantino similar, but not as exaggerated.
I think you can tell from the dialogue that it's a Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But visually, like, it's a Wes Anderson movie whenever you're watching it.
Yeah. So that's a big thing I like about House of Usher. Like I don't think it was my favorite episode out of all of them, but I definitely have a favorite scene where I'm like, oh, that's gorgeous. That's a choice, and I love it. Which $100 to the person who figures out what scene that is. Yeah, media is fun.
Yeah, it's pretty enjoyable.
You know what else is fun?
What's that?
Football.
It can be. It can also be very frustrating. This was a weekend of frustration for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because of our game, because that was last weekend.
No.
What happened this weekend?
I mean, I lost to Jamie by like 1 point something points after putting up like 190, which would have beaten like basically every other team except for her and maybe one other.
Yeah. This guy right here.
Whatever. I now have the most points for in the entire league, and I'm in like 9th place.
Yeah, here I saw that with Ash winning and maybe one other person winning, you're out of the top 6. You're out of the playoffs
by multiple spots.
Yeah. I like that we did the recap and that people... it's harder for me to believe that... so you and I, we did a mid-season recap for Tyrannosaurus Tex.
Mm-hmm.
And last year it was like 80-something minutes. It's basically an hour and a half. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that we collected the answers to everybody's stuff, but then we just did this. We did a open-ended podcast, and then tried after the fact to put slides on top of that, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And this time, I felt like it went a lot more smoothly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Doing the slides first, and then just like putting audio on each specific slide, basically. And it was still, what, an hour and 10?
Hour
5?
2.
Okay, hour 2.
Like 1 minute, or 1 hour, 2 minutes, 54 seconds or something.
It's hard for me to believe that people want to listen to that.
Agreed. I mean, I can't believe anybody ever listens to this either, but especially that.
We have more people listen to the recap than listen to these, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I try to be nice too. Like, I did it last year, but it was kind of funky last year. It didn't really work exactly how I wanted to, but this year it worked perfectly. But I was able to put, if you look in the description of the video, I put timestamps for everyone, so they can just go and click the time next to their name, and it'll just immediately go to where we talk about them if they don't want to hear about the whole league.
I thought you did that last year.
I did, but they didn't sync up right.
Oh, okay.
Which was very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
This year they did, so I don't know if anybody utilized that, but I took the time to do it.
I remember last year was very frustrating. And that also takes me back, because I was working on that on Halloween, but I was in D.C. on Halloween last year, which was real frustrating.
Yeah.
It sucked.
I mean, this year was also frustrating after the fact. I mean, the whole recording process went super smooth. But it took me, like, 4 hours to get it to, like, upload.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, to export the video. I tried multiple times, and each time it would take, like, 30, 40 minutes. And then right at the very last second, like, when you think it's done, it's like, we can't do this. Try again.
Yeah, I think we're really pushing... PowerPoint to its limits.
I mean, we've done it before, I think. Well, I don't know if we've ever done an hour-long PowerPoint presentation. Mm-hmm. I mean, eventually the way I figured it out is I went in and I just exported it in the lowest quality possible.
Okay, I picked up on that because Ash and I watched it together on the big screen. And I was like, that's not as sharp as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way I got it to work.
Mm-hmm.
But I dropped it down and... It completed first try in like 10 minutes. So I was like, at that point I was like, screw it. I wanted to get this out like hours ago.
Yeah.
We're done. And then I found that somehow there was just like 35 seconds of silence between two of the parts.
Yeah.
No idea how that happened. Didn't even care once I found out. I was like, we're too far.
I think next year, it doesn't have to be Halloween themed, but I think we need to acknowledge that Halloween's around it. And then do a mid-season shot with everybody where like people can wear Halloween costumes if they want to.
I love where your head's at because I also had something in mind for next year. I think we don't have to necessarily include this in the recap, but something I would like to do with the league. Mm-hmm. Have a league-wide pumpkin carving contest.
Oh.
Just everybody, if they want to carve a pumpkin on their own, take pictures, submit them. We put a poll up and let everyone like vote what are the best ones.
Very nice.
I mean, because if I do another pumpkin as good as I did this one, I need more people to see it. I need more validation.
Yeah.
It's funny. I showed it to my. Just talking about the pumpkin again. It's like it's my child right now.
Yep.
I showed him a picture of to my dad, and he was like, "Damn, I have no idea where you got pumpkin carving skills from." In terms of like genetics, but you got them from somewhere. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just good with my hands, I guess. Mm-hmm. My dad is not good with his hands at all. My brother is not good with his hands at all. My mom was pretty good with stuff. Apparently, one of my dad's brothers like just built an entire house by himself, and it's like it's still a house that's being lived in.
That's crazy. That's a thing people used to do.
Yeah.
Gonna build a house. Okay. It sounds crazy complicated, but maybe it's not.
I mean, Nothing's that complicated if you take it in little bite-sized pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put a nail in this board, got it. Do the next one. But yeah, I don't know.
I remember as a kid I was obsessed with making the archetypical jack-o'-lantern, like with the square teeth and stuff. That was a big deal to me.
Yeah. That's all I ever did as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get into fancy pumpkin carving until well into adult life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, like, the first real fancy one I did was, like, in Austin.
Nice.
So I was, like, 13 or 14.
Taking us back to the recap, I told Ash this. I hope it's not a breach of confidence. I'm about to tell the whole world. But we kind of said it on the recap, too. It's like, definitely one of my favorite, like, recent you and me simpatico broing out was, everybody in the league, we tell them they can ask us questions. You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And somebody was like, what's your favorite part of being a commissioner? And I swear I could hear your thoughts. I could hear your mind grinding. And then when you started laughing, I was like, did you just think the words, the power?
And I totally did. I absolutely did. I lost my shit whenever you asked me that. Because that's exactly what happened. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, what do I like about Commissioner? And then just all of a sudden, everything in my brain went away, and just like the only thing that was there is the power.
Yeah. Ash and I were listening to it, and we freaked out laughing when that happened. But then you actually record the slide or whatever, and it's the power, and talking about it normally. And she was like, God. And then I told her about how it actually went down. And I'm glad it's immortalized here, because I don't want to lose that memory. That was great.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's happened to us a lot, though. I mean, that happened in Colorado one time. Yeah. I like that we can know what we're thinking and what the other's thinking.
Yeah. I've had that. Really, there's only one other person that I ever had that with, where it was like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he and I used to be able to basically have conversations by just looking at each other. Like, it was wild.
Nice.
It's hard to, like, it almost was like what I imagine, like, twins have.
Yeah.
That almost, like, psychic connection or whatever. I definitely had that with Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Real hard. But me and you, we've developed one pretty good.
Yeah.
Over the years. Me
and my brothers are like that when it comes specifically to, like, media references. Like, if we're all in the same room and something happens, we're like...
Yeah. No, I feel you. That was a great moment.
Mm-hmm. 33 minutes. I'm going to check my notes.
Yeah, I've already talked about what I wanted to talk about. I talked about it like 4 times.
I gushed over House of Usher. That's my thing. And yeah, I'll post the jack-o'-lanterns and Ashley's costume, and probably me and Ashley standing next to each other. And that'll be this week. What else? Are you down to do a Zoom call on your birthday?
I'm not opposed.
Okay. By then everybody will have heard the recap, and different offended voices have already raised their hands.
I already paid the price for my misdeeds. Whatever.
So we'll see what happens there. And yeah.
I guess the only other thing this week I have to say, but I'm not even going to talk into it too much, but I have not given up my writing yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not at 50 pages yet, but I'm like in the 30s.
Yeah.
So we're still trucking along.
I think Ash said that she offered to like trade a chapter for a chapter of like her stuff to your stuff.
She did, but I mean, I feel bad because like I feel like she's like writing, and I'm just like dicking around. Like I don't have chapters. I have like paragraphs that I'm calling scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not multi-page things. They're like I guess there's like maybe 2 scenes that are a full page each.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just gotta find the balance because I feel bad like having her read something that I know is like gonna be absolutely inferior to what she does.
I still think you should do it because she's never let me read anything that she's done.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a cool little bond.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I've been hesitant about it is just because I feel like she's been doing this a lot longer, tries and cares about it a lot more than I do, and I don't want her to waste her time on reading my crap. This is like the first try I've ever done. I'm not even really writing anything yet. I'm just like outlining with some like specific things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'll figure it out. Just got to keep going.
I think the number one thing every like professional, not even just writer, but like creative person will say, is that it's never done on the first draft. And
yeah, for sure.
You got to take every opportunity to edit, and that.
I mean, we're not even to a first draft yet. We're still like outlining things. We're still making the framework to then do a first draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm putting on the first draft of like basic idea of how the whole thing is going to go in order, which definitely things will change, but still wouldn't even fully call it I'm doing a draft or a first draft. It's like a pre-draft, draft adjacent.
Mm-hmm. Proto draft.
Yeah.
Paleo draft.
Yeah. But we'll get there.
Cool.
And I'll share something with her. But yeah, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, we got.
Got to go get ready to give the kids candy.
Yeah, I gotta find an eye patch or make an eye patch, really.
I like how you just started looking around this room. Like,
yeah.
You're looking for things.
Take that strap.
I mean, I might have a sleep mask you could like cut one of the eyes off of.
Nah, Ash has like 6 sleep masks and I've already threatened to do that.
Alright, well, thank you very much for listening, everyone. I know you're not going to hear this on Halloween, but I hope you had a happy Halloween.
Happy day after Halloween.
Yeah, love y'all.
Peace out.
See ya.